brings you this pod of comfort, man.
Or some jorts.
It's a tricky choice.
Listen, do you have a problem with my jorts?
No.
I've owned these jorts since 7th grade.
I think that's how long I've owned these shorts.
I have nothing against jorts. I wear jorts myself. It's just like a
As a
comfy
jorts wearer myself.
It's just like a comfy blanket, a comfy papa-san. Jorts.
I mean, listen.
My name in one of my group chats is jorts wearing bush boys from the Weekly Planet.
Alright, so,
Okay.
10 months in the making.
10 months.
Non-puppet Puppet History 2. If you jump on that, still help me.
Do it.
Puppet History 2, okay.
Here we go.
San
Will
Francisco.
anyone...
San Francisco. That's
No.
my answer.
Will anyone be able to dethrone Claire, who
No.
found out what One Piece was and immediately won the
Absolutely.
contest?
Yes.
I refuse.
Alright, let's
Where are
find
the
out.
jelly beans? Oh,
They're upstairs.
So, have any of you ever created an original character for an existing series?
Obviously.
there's that sexy guy.
Hey, he's back.
We all have them. Who needs them?
They're just like us.
Nice Drawfee reference.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you.
And so that's a yes from all of you.
Yes.
I make myself into different scenes.
Yeah.
I used to write. I make
Hmm.
books.
So this is for existing series, specifically.
Oh, no.
Like fan
Well,
characters for a series, like the hedgehogs and whatnot.
Yeah,
Of
I
course.
just-
Cancel
yes, no.
Floofy.
Okay.
She's so
Luffy's an original character, do not steal.
Yeah.
Making OCs to slot into your favorite fictional universes has been a popular pastime ever since French poet Chrétien de Troyes inserted his OC, Sir Lancelot, into the legend of King Arthur.
Really?
From video editors on YouTube making eye catches to their JoJo stands, to teenagers on DeviantArt gushing about how fast and cool their self-named hedgehogs are, the internet has long embraced this proud artistic tradition. However, today I will be focusing on the Sona spawning habits of one fandom in particular, because I've discovered that the original series was practically built from the ground up to allow its audience to make custom characters inside of its world. Now, I have to pause for a moment here, because I have a serious confession to make.
Oh, I was.
There is only
Oh.
one other person on the planet who I'm told this to, and it may very well change how you look at me as a person from now on. Are you mentally prepared to proceed?
I'm frightened, but yes.
I feel like I should get in the booth first, discuss it with Father Thomas, and then I
Yeah.
shall return.
Sure.
Okay.
Have you made a Sonic OC?
I read all of Homestuck.
Yeah!
And it's really good.
Yeah!
Leo, are you okay?
Yeah! Woo!
That's right, I've secretly been a Homestuck fan ever since April of 2021.
Oh, you're
And
a
I-
late bloomer.
And I specifically waited to tell you guys till after I finished it because I knew you'd probably try to talk me out of it. To explain, I don't know when this shift occurred, but at some point my brain started taking a lot of people like this, but it's also really long, as a challenge instead of a deterrent. That's why I got caught up on One Piece over the span of a few months. As such, when Sarah Zed uploaded her video chronicling the history of Homestuck, and parts of it looked really interesting, and she linked to an app that bundles together the entire comic and all of the extras that used to be on the official website before it got jacked up thanks to the death of Adobe Flash, I lasted about a day before succumbing to temptation. After the One Piece PowerPoint was such a success, I knew this is how I had to break the news to you all.
Okay. Complaint.
Yes?
She clearly knows a lot about it.
I know this is about original characters. I don't know that much about the original characters.
Okay,
people have
but
made.
still, you know about Homestuck. Do you know what I know? Grumpy guy with horns. And I know that Kate was obsessed with it. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's the one person I told. I only told Kate. That's why I had her give feedback on this.
That's so smart. You're
Leah, are you okay?
I don't think I'll be able to stop giggling this whole time. Oh my gosh. I
No.
want to be clear, Claire. I never finished Homestuck.
Okay,
I got
but how
through-
much did you read?
I got through middle of Act 5.
Exactly.
And let me continue.
No.
This is a part where Kate was like, oh my god, this is the part where everyone starts dying. We want to have you read it on Skype so we can watch your reaction. I was like, I don't want to do that, actually. I don't want you to see me cry reading something that you know is going to be sad. I don't want to go into this knowing I'm going to cry. when everybody dies, but not for real, but also for real, but also not really, I'm like, I don't need to have witnesses for this. So I stopped reading, and then we dropped the subject entirely, and I've not picked it up since.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff I don't know, but also a lot of stuff that I do know.
So yeah, this quiz was made with the intention that you guys did not know much about Homestuck. So Lily might be a little biased here.
Get wrecked!
How did you not know she knew about it?
I didn't know. All I knew was that Kate liked it.
This is a crime.
So originally, this is going to be a top 10 list of the most buck wild moments in the series. As an example, question 1. Which of these is not a real thing that happens in Homestuck? A. Betty Crocker is revealed to secretly be a genocidal alien empress. B. A character's house is booby-trapped with thick puppets. C. One of the trolls is a juggalo, and he is vital to beating the final boss.
I think all these things happened.
One of them did not. Lee, are you going to forfeit the quiz?
I cannot believe you've done this to me. I'm gonna paint your skin gray.
No!
Go to convention.
No!
Okay. I have my answer.
Alright.
I think
What
I
you
should
got?
go. I think I should answer last.
Yeah, okay.
Given
Claire, what you got?
How about C?
Alright. Leah?
A.
Alright.
I also put A.
Okay. The answer is C. Technically, that's only half wrong. There is a juggalo troll, but he's secretly a psychopath who ends up murdering like 5 other protagonists.
Yeah, that was the part I didn't want to read.
I cannot hear clown honking the same way anymore. After a while, I realized that there was so much context required to discuss the top 10 weirdest moments that it would be way more work than I was willing to put up with. And keep in mind, I'm just talking about the original Homestuck. I'm not even touching Homestuck 2 Beyond Canon, because A, according to Sarah's video, it was made by a whole different team and not the original creator. And B, one of the main human characters has a daughter who is half dog named Yiffany.
I know, Yiffy, I know.
Yiffany? Don't ask, because I don't know. I don't have answers for you. We're not talking about Homestuck 2. I'm moving on.
Yeah, I know.
As you may remember, for these 80 tangents, this presentation is about OCs, specifically fan trolls. It is absolutely not a surprise to me that these are so widespread, because while I was reading Homestuck, I realized that the amount of customization options in making a fan troll rivals the character creation systems in AAA video games. So I'm going to walk you through all the ways that you can make your own original troll, do not steal, and provide my own example as we go. This is paying the troll.
Do you want to know something?
What's that?
I have the naming convention of one of the kids, of any of the kids. 4-letter first name, 6-letter last name.
Nice.
I realized this in high school, and it has haunted me ever since.
Alright. So I'm going to go over the basics of the Homestuck universe really quick.
Claire has a troll in naming convention. 6 first name, 6 last name.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm going to go over the basics of the Homestuck universe really quick, just to
We are
establish the
antis.
rules of the setting we're working in. The central feature of Homestuck is a sort of augmented reality simulator game. The players of the game are granted real weapons and powers, and can alter the world around them using the game's mechanics and special items.
Isn't it called like Slurp or something?
If all goes well, they will ultimately end up participating in a power struggle between 2 warring kingdoms, which are customized per the actions of the players in each unique session of the game.
Can I get an answer?
What is this incredibly important game called?
Well, I know the answer to that.
I'm glad you said it out loud.
So you guys have some guesses.
Yeah!
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's Spur.
Claire?
A.
And Lily.
A.
It's
History point for everyone!
I know that
Thank
from
you,
Sarah's
Chief.
video.
Yeah, I knew you had watched Sarah's video because you were talking about it in the car with Caleb when you were like, I'm so glad you didn't turn into a Homestuck fan, Caleb, and I was like, ugh.
I can't believe it.
Wait a few weeks!
In
The
my
phone
own
was
home.
coming from inside the house.
Fairly early on, we discovered that humans are not the only species who play the game of Spurb. The other major faction is a race of aliens called trolls, which are bug people, basically? They don't look like bugs, but a lot of their architecture and parts of their life cycle are very insectoid. Although they call the game Scrub, everything functions pretty much identically for them. As such, each fan troll has 2 sets of characteristics that we'll have to develop. Who they are as a player outside the game, and their build inside the game. If we want to make this character from the ground up, it only makes sense to start with their backstory. But of course, it's not as easy as just saying you're from the troll homeworld, because there are 2 different troll homeworlds. As it turns out, there is a lot of time travel in Homestuck.
Boo.
And parallel timelines have been a thing since very early on. The most prominent result of time shenanigans is a parallel universe with an entirely different version of troll society that basically swapped 2 generations. The ancient ancestors of the normal universe are now the modern teen generation, and vice versa. The age-flipped versions of the ancestors, referred to as Dancestors because they are now the descendants and ancestors of the original group,
So that's why they're called that.
maintained most aspects of their original selves, but are just different enough that they're considered to be distinct individuals. Basically think of them as AU versions of their typical selves. Question 3. What is the age-swapped version of the troll homeworld called? A. Alternia. B. Beforus. C. Carbuncle.
You get this far.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Act 5 is actually not a lot, because Act 6 and Act 7 are so long.
Yeah. Like, that's not even halfway through where I stopped. Like, I stopped at maybe the 25% mark.
Okay, so it may not be entirely one-sided battle for you guys.
I mean, I do have the big home
You do
field
have
advantage.
you have a big advantage, yes. So what do we think? A, B, C, what do we think?
D.
Alright. What are your answers?
What my answer?
Yeah.
Wait, we're supposed to be keeping track of our scores.
Yes.
I'm keeping track of
Okay.
it.
Okay,
alright,
good.
alright.
Oh,
I'm
you're keeping track of all
still
ours?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Leah's going to
What
be
did-
enraged at this entire presentation.
I said B. Because I don't know.
I didn't love the name of car.
It's a great name.
Then go with it.
Go with your
You're
car.
winning already, so.
You got a car, so you gotta go carbuncle.
Okay, carbuncle.
Alright.
I said B.
Alright. History points for Lily and Leah.
Woo!
Before us.
I should have gone with the obvious title.
Well, Alternia is the actual one.
Yes.
Wait,
What?
Alternia is the one that they
Alternia is the
regularly.
default troll homeworld.
Oh.
The Before Us version of Troll Society is far more peaceful than that of their original world, Alternia, wherein trolls work around the clock to conquer other planets for the sake of their queen, known as Her Imperious Condescension. Since I like making characters with cool weapons and fighting styles and whatnot, my fan troll is going to be an Alternian. All you have to worry about when coming up with the hobbies or jobs of Alternians is that basically everything has a level of casual violence to it. As an example, their versions of auditors and lawyers are called audit-terrorizers and legislacerators. My troll is going to be a sort of hybrid between a classical musician and a stage magician. The strings of her instrument are detachable and razor sharp, and audience volunteers at her magic shows usually return to their seats with noticeably less blood. I'll explain why I've picked these professions in particular later on. So with that out of the way, we get to the most normal part of OC creation, physical appearance. Trolls' genders and body structures are fundamentally the same as humans, with certain consistent features developing across the species. Gray skin, pointed teeth, black hair with the occasional color streak, and yellow sclera are all pretty much universal. But other than that, there's almost no end to the amount of features that can be customized to your heart's desire. Their horns, for instance, come in every possible shape and size. Short, long, curled like a ram, asymmetrical, multiple sets, whatever. There's also a surprising amount of diversity options, as 2 members of the main cast are blind and in a wheelchair respectively. Just because they're a brutal, warlike race of conquerors doesn't mean they're ableist.
Love to see it.
One of the most important factors of troll creation is the hemospectrum. Instead of having just one blood color, they have an entire rainbow of possibilities. Those who have the richest of purples flowing through their veins also tend to develop a unique anatomical quirk.
So they're racist?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We may not be ableist, but we are racist.
They're bloodist.
Question 4. What mutation develops amongst the troll upper class? A. Insectoid wings. B. Fins and gills. C. Extra eyes.
The emotional difference between me over here and Leo is
And Claire seems mostly just confused.
is impeccable. I'm having a great time. Leah is going to kill you.
This is my last known footage.
The screen's gone dark. Is that a
It happened last time. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Wouldn't want to miss this.
Can I ask why you like this so much?
Because I hate Homestuck.
Why?
Because
Do you have like a reason, or do you just not like it?
it's just, I don't know. It just seems very annoying.
Some fans were
I
annoying,
will
sure.
say, the fandom was horrible. It was very annoying. The actual content is a lot, and it's convoluted, but it's not super annoying. It's also very, like, 2010s. Like, internet 2010s.
At the start, yeah. It gets better as it goes on, I think. So what are your answers?
I don't know. I just feel like I don't have the patience for it, so I'm just like,
That's fair.
I'm gonna say C.
I'm also
Okay.
saying C.
Alright. B. That's a point for Lily!
Woo!
Pins and gills!
That was unfair, though. That was an unfair
Well, yes.
point.
That's right, the high-class trolls didn't even want to live on the same terrain as the filthy red-blooded commoners, so they made their own Atlantis to set themselves apart. Now, if you happen to be born with low-end blood, it's not all bad for you, because it's a certain supernatural ability that develops far more frequently in the red, orange, yellow range. What power is most common in lower-blooded trolls? A. Regenerative healing factor. B. Shooting their horns as projectiles. C. Psychic abilities.
I think I know this one, but I'm not actually sure.
I'm gonna say C again.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm also saying C.
I'm
Lily?
also gonna say C.
That is a history point for everyone!
Woo! I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not a healing factor because, what's her name?
Good question.
Aradia?
Aradia?
Aradia, yeah, Aradia. She dead. She starts out dead.
For some reason, powers that range from telekinesis to talking with animals, though not exclusive to land dwellers, are found far more commonly in those outside of the upper crust. Side note, I feel like most conversations about Homestuck lore will include the phrase, for some reason, at one point or another.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put my fan troll smack dab in the middle of the spectrum with olive blood. Not only because green is one of my favorite colors, but also because I don't particularly care about her being psychic or a fish person. Now, as you might have guessed from me bringing up animals earlier, there is crazy alien wildlife on Alternia. But how does this tie into the troll sona? How does this tie into the troll sona creation process? Well, most trolls spend their adult lives traveling through space and taking over other planets for power and glory, so they don't have time to raise kids. As such, the job of raising young trolls is left to custodians, and the vast majority of custodians are a species of weird monsters known as lusus naturae. Question 6. What does lusus naturae translate to in Latin? Free write. Leah is still mentally recovering from the knowledge that they now have to live under the same roof as a Homestuck fan
I'm gonna move out.
for the next year.
Dang it! Why'd you have to tell me now when I have to be
I have to keep this bottle up for 10 months.
Honestly, good on you. I
Honestly-
would not have guessed.
Honestly, go back
I
and
thought this was supposed to be a
I did-
presentation about things that not everybody knew about.
I didn't know that Lily was a Homestuck fan.
I'm surprised Kate didn't tell you.
I was gonna say.
She might have mentioned it, but I just completely forgot.
Listen, again.
She's very excited to see the recording of your guys' first impressions.
Where I'm just cackling for 3 minutes straight. Yay!
And
Leah's like
contemplates
burning with rage.
And Claire doesn't know what's going on.
Oh no, I know.
So what are your answers? What do you think lusus naturae means?
Natural loser.
All
Me
right.
too!
You also put natural loser.
I put natural predator.
Okay. The correct answer is freak of nature.
Oh.
So I think
not-
me and I win.
Yeah.
I would give them points.
Alright,
I would
okay,
not
alright.
give me points, but
Alright, sure. Yeah.
or like
alright.
half a point. Can I give them half a jelly bean?
Technically, give Leah and Claire 3 points. That's close.
All right.
The appearances of lususes, luci, whatever, vary wildly, ranging from versions of animals found on Earth to completely alien abominations. However, since they're found within deep caves, they're universally pure white in color. Like so much else in their lives, a troll's blood color has an effect on what lusus chooses them, though it's not the only factor in the decision-making process, as a lusus and its chosen child will also always have the same gender. Troll childhoods are an exercise in codependence, with the troll kids supporting and feeding their luci just as much as the luci protect and mentor the trolls. It's a real circle of life kind of thing. By ensuring that more trolls survive to reach adulthood, the luci make sure that eventually more troll kids will be born, and one day play a part in helping other luci to grow. To sum up, instead of working out your OC's parental relationships and home life, you just need to pick what kind of spirit animal and or monster friend they have. I'm going to the Lucis that resembles a giant owl.
Love it.
So, with the homeworld, personal interests, physical appearance, blood type / societal caste, and childhood guardian all sorted out, all we need to do to finish off our Trollsona's out-of-game description is to pick a name. While their names and titles may change after they've grown up, all trolls start with names that have one particular feature in common, which Lily definitely didn't already say. What is consistent about Gum Troll's names? Each name has 6 letters,
You're welcome.
each name has a double letter in it, their first and last names rhyme.
A.
Claire?
Oh, what would it be?
A.
History point for everyone!
Yay!
As soon as you said that, I was like, ugh.
I didn't fully say that one out loud. I love that. I was like, oh, Claire could be one. I was like, shut up.
Shut your little whore mouth.
Bet you're glad I said that now, aren't you? You
No.
got a point.
I don't
We're
think
all
there's
losers here.
I don't think there's ever been a canonical explanation for why this is the case, but it's a rule that is never broken.
It's the devil number.
It's true.
Now comes the part where I reveal something else.
No.
I didn't make up the fan troll I'm building here just for this presentation. This character literally came to me in a dream. After about a week of reading Homestuck, I had a dream that I was continuing to read it, only my brain created an original troll and inserted her into the story.
Love it.
I took this as a sign, recorded as many details as I could remember about her as soon as I woke up, and this whole presentation is doubling as an excuse for me to fully flesh her out.
I love it.
However, there's a slight problem. I didn't know about the 6-letter rule yet, so the name that she had in the dream doesn't work with the format. I know that her first name was Athena, which does have 6 letters, but I couldn't recall if her last name was Viola or Voila, both of which only have 5 letters. That is also why she's a musician and magician,
Very
by the
fun.
way.
Very fun. I'm loving this.
As such, I combined the 2 names, so my fan troll will henceforth be known as Athena Viola. When compared to canonical names like Gamzee and Latula, it fits right in.
Flatula?
Latula.
Oh, I thought it was fit.
But that's 7 letters.
No, it's not.
Latula.
Latula.
Oh, I thought it was CH.
Nope. So,
To be fair, I always pronounce it Latula, so
Hmm.
I don't actually know which
I just
one.
made it rhyme with spatula, I don't know.
Love it.
With all the real world stuff taken care of, it's time to talk about the world inside of the game. Like I mentioned back when I first brought up Spurb/Scrub, the players of the game are locked into a conflict between 2 warring kingdoms, which are located on a pair of opposing planets. Prospit, the Kingdom of Light, and Durst, the Kingdom of Dark. Which kingdom the players are aligned with is dependent on their personality, referred to as their lunar sway. As a general rule of thumb, optimists go to Prospit, while pessimists go to Durst, though obviously there's quite a bit of wiggle room and individual variation. Question 8. How do the players actually get to Prospit or Durst? A. In their sleep. B. Building a portal out of everyday objects. C. Wishing to go there with the help of a magical genie.
Physical lights, not the genie, obviously.
But for all you know, it could be the genie. Maybe she's lying to make you
Am I
lose out on
having
bean
to-
points.
Listen, cringe is dead. I'm having fun. I'm
Cringe
appalled
is not
at
dead.
your
Cringe
behavior.
is so not dead.
According to Leah, this is
Cringe is
single-handedly revived
alive.
Cream.
Cringe is alive and well.
Wait, why are we not having Lily go first?
So you can't change your answer.
Well, I want full speed.
Does anyone have an answer?
I have an answer.
Alright.
What is it?
No.
No, we're making Lily go last, you
What
two
is
go
it,
cheat.
Yeah, what's your answer?
It is. I'm not telling you. Go.
What is it?
I will save my action until Lily goes.
That's not how this works.
Well,
Well, what'd you put? What'd you put?
what'd you put?
Look at it. It's blank. You can't see it?
Yeah, write your answer and
Look at that.
It's an F.
I'm sorry you can't read. What'd you put?
it's clearly the right answer, which is
Someone else go.
Leah, what did you
Fine,
get?
I don't even give a shit. I think they go in the portal.
I think
know.
sleep.
Alright, Lily.
Fuck.
That's a point for Lily and Leah.
I'm gonna shit myself.
Please, you won't even know.
It's true. Y'all know.
When the players fall asleep, they will inhabit their dream selves, located on the moon of the Kingdom ideal self in either gold or purple robes. Dream selves can do a lot, accessing nearly limitless abilities out of nowhere just like one could do in a normal lucid dream. Though they even function as an extra life if the player's real body dies, though if both of your bodies die, you're gone for good.
I wish my dream died.
I think Athena would lean more toward the side of Prospect, so we'll just go with that.
Love it.
When the player first enters the game, they appear in a customized planet, universally referred to as the land of something and something. These lands take elements of the player's life up until now, and manifest them as various puzzles, enemies, and NPC inhabitants. One of the biggest contributing factors to how these planets turn out is the player's mythological role, which is basically their in-game build. Each role is made up of 2 components. Question 9. What are the 2 components of a mythological role? A. Color and soul. B. Aspect and class. C. Sphere and aura.
I feel like I should not be playing this. I know too many things. What do you want from me?
The right answer.
A fair fight. That's what I want.
I want those beans.
Leo, what you got?
Oh no.
Don't you cheat off of me.
Huh?
I think I saw.
This is unprecedented. So much flagrant cheating.
Or maybe she put C for color and soul.
No.
She just
Okay.
mixed down the letter.
Oh, then C.
Okay, Claire.
I'm also saying C.
Alright,
It's
Lily.
B, you nerd!
It's B! Point for Lily!
You bitch.
Not my fault you're bad at cheating.
I saw your thumb go down in the general direction.
B and C are both
I
here.
know that now.
This is so much less organized than the One Piece one. I've torn this family apart.
At least that one was a fair fight.
Yeah.
What is this?
I'm so
Garbage.
Let's start with the aspects.
10 months wasted, Scout.
Yeah.
These are the...
I don't think it's wasted. I'm having a good time.
It's certainly so.
Not just because I'm winning. But
Oh, it's not?
You just want those beans.
I don't even care about the beans.
What? Then go leave.
Let's start with the
Start
aspects.
losing.
These are the equivalent of elements, but they're not nearly as simple as fire, water, earth, and air. As you've probably gathered by now, nothing in Homestuck is simple. There are a total of 12 aspects, sorted into 6 opposing pairs. Space and time should be self-explanatory, as are life and doom. Light is based on knowledge, while void is based on the unknown. Mind is based on thoughts and actions, while heart is based on emotions and identities. Hope is based on positive emotions and conviction, while rage is based on negative emotions and madness. And finally, breath is based on freedom and detachment, while blood is based on relationships and obligations. As you may have noticed, a lot of these are very abstract. That's because what kind of actual powers you get from your role is largely dependent on your class. Now, how classes work is a lot less clear than aspects. We know that some classes are exclusive to certain genders, and that they're also divided up into pairs, based on whether they're active, self-serving, or passive, group-serving. But we don't have a complete list of classes, or any concrete answers as to which ones are paired up. So something like 50% of the Homestuck wiki page on classes is just speculation on how any of this might work. There are 14 known classes, 12 regular ones, plus 2 master classes that are accessible only to another alien species known as cherubs, and boy do we not have time to get into those things.
I only know their names.
Yeah, Lily, this is after the point where Lily left. Unfortunately, I didn't make any questions about cherubs because we're not getting into them, but if I had,
The
it
what
would
name?
be
Of course.
I know their names.
Great.
A lot of classes are analogous to typical D&D fare. Knights usually manifest their aspects as weapons to protect their allies. Thieves and their passive counterparts, rogues, can steal parts of others associated with their aspects. Bards utilize their aspect to destroy and bring chaos to everything around them. But some of these classes are just kind of weird, and how their powers manifest is subject to interpretation. Question 10. Which of these is not a currently known class? A. Witch. B. Air. C. Scribe.
I want that hat.
That's a good hat.
That's a real one, right? That's a real hat?
Yes, this is official art of all the class outfits.
Nice. Nice.
I think that's the bard hat.
I know Gansey had it.
He's a bard, so yeah.
Okay. Because I remember seeing him in Squid Hat and being like, that looks ridiculous.
It does.
Sir, what are you doing? Get your little peeping eyes away from my screen.
Well, Leah, Claire?
I think I'm saying A.
Claire's going with A,
I'm
alright.
gonna say B for.
Bear.
I don't know.
Lily?
C.
That is a point for Lily!
Fuck, dude. I knew air was real, and I couldn't remember if Jade was a witch or not, but I was pretty sure she was.
Yes. I'm gonna pick from the canon classes, but a lot of people just make up their own.
Seeing the shit.
No one can dispute them because we don't know all of them. In Athea's case, I'm making her a maid of hope. Maids generally create phenomena tied to their aspects in order to better the lives of others, and bringing about positive emotions in others seems very fitting for someone who entertains crowds with songs and or magic tricks.
Love it.
Now here's something fun. The troll version of the Zodiac has 288 possible signs,
That's too many.
based on a combination of lunar sway, chemospectrum placement, and associated aspects. As such, every troll basically has a fun little logo that they usually display on their clothes somewhere.
How did Andrew Husey,
Hussey?
their Andrew Bussey make so many symbols?
I don't know.
That's too many symbols.
For being Olive, Hope, and Prospect, Athena gets the sign of Lenius, which is a modification of Leo. And yes, there's an official personality quiz you can take online to see what your sign is. I got Gold, Durst, and Light, which means I'm the alternate version of Gemini known as Gempia,
That makes sense because you're a Gemini already in real life.
which is up here. Yes, it's based on your actual zodiac.
Oh.
There's real zodiac signs in the mix here.
What is it? How do you take the quiz?
Leah begrudgingly are taking this goddamn
This
quiz.
goddamn.
I'll show you after the presentation.
I'm gonna look it up anyway.
Just look up Troll Zodiac Quiz, and it should be on like hiveswap.com or something like that.
I'm so angry.
We're in the home stretch now.
Great Homestuck quiz.
So let's wrap this up with something easy.
Oh, is it?
In Spurb, battles are known as stripes, and each character has a striped specibus, which is basically an inventory system that stores their weapons. Each character has a different kind abstractus, which determines what kind of weapons they use. For example, someone who uses swords would be sword kind, someone who uses rifles would be rifle kind, etc. There are tons of possible weapon loadouts. Question 11. What is something that can be used as a weapon? Freeride. If you can name something that isn't already listed on the wiki as a kind abstractus, you will get a history point.
Wait.
There are close to 100 types. Good luck!
If I can name something.
Wait, I was
is
looking
it
up.
this
I was
one?
looking up the extended zodiac. Can you?
Name something that can be used as a weapon, and if you pick something that's not already on the wiki listed as a possible loadout in Homestuck, you will get a point. There are close to 100 types.
So it's just anything.
Just name something that you think can be used as a weapon. I have the screenshot from the wiki on my script here, and I'll see if it's already in there. And if it is already in there, you will not get a point.
I have no idea on this one. I mean, I know something.
This is
but it-
2010 internet?
About 2010-ish internet. I was gonna say Dilbert, but that's too much. That one's definitely in there.
Yeah, Dilbert's definitely.
Oh, absolutely it is.
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, I love what you're whispering. So the computer doesn't pick you up.
She's not here. Shit.
Yeah, I feel like.
When were those invented?
Are you crying?
I have been. I cried when I lost the first couple times.
Does anyone have answers?
I have an answer.
But I also.
Alright, Leah. Alright. Leah, what you got?
I said an orange peel.
That is not on the list. Leah gets Easter
Oh!
points.
Good point for Leah.
Alright.
Okay,
Claire.
Mine is a pussy pocket.
No, and for reference, there's no dildo weapon. It's not a thing.
Wow! I could have said either one. All right.
Wait for Claire.
Thank you.
Lily, what you
I
got?
said potions.
Potion.
Danny, I made some
I don't
potions.
do a potion.
You're gonna do a potion, Danny.
Nope, there's no potion kind.
Oh,
Alright,
that's-
everyone gets points.
Wow.
Well done. Since I've already established that Athena fights with the detachable razor-sharp strings of her instrument, chord kind fits fairly well.
Spites. Spites.
Spates.
Spites.
Where?
Spites.
Dang it!
Spates.
I win by default. I get
No.
And that we're essentially done making our fan troll.
Great.
Now, obviously, I could go even more in-depth than this. I could have designed the aforementioned land of X and X planet Athena would spawn on in Scrub. Each of the trolls in canon has an online username and their own unique quirk when they type, usually taking the form of some sort of modified leet speak. Most characters have a unique inventory system called the captcha-log, with their own personalized mechanics as to how it stores and releases things. Claire, do you have a question?
Yes, was this presented like that text for the
Yes.
whole reading? So there's no pictures?
No, there are pictures. There's text below the pictures.
Oh god, okay.
You get used to it.
I doubt it.
But I think you get my point by now. There are
They
some...
say who in there?
What?
Did they say
Pachoo!
that's not as fun.
It's a typing quirk. They all have them. You get used to it.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
they all definitely
They
do
all
that?
have those.
Yeah, so the green one capitalizes the first letter of every word,
That one's not that bad.
which is easy to read. The purple one puts a dash before the E to look like a trident, and then H's are double parentheses.
And she's a fish, because tridents.
And she's a Pisces, which is the symbol.
How are you supposed to read that?
You get used to
You
it.
get used to it.
No. Oh my god.
Not the humans in the story don't write with those, so it's not all like this. Anyway.
And some of them are easier than others.
Yes,
to read.
some of them are a lot more legible. I think you get my point by now. There are so many intricate layers to making your own original troll do not steal. And making one fan troll could be just the start of the process. Like I mentioned before, a number of characters in the main cast have ancient ancestors, so you can make one for your OC's bloodline and swap them at your leisure. Or if you make a lot of fan trolls, you can fill out all of their different relationships with each other, and oh god, I have to talk about the chart now. Alright, I'm trying to make this fast. Basically, troll relationships are divided into a number of categories, represented by a set of symbols that most humans are very familiar with. What are used as symbols for troll relationships? A. Playing card suits. B. Pool balls. C. Chess pieces.
This is an unfair advantage. I am so sorry.
I'm
everybody.
so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I hate winning.
Are you sure?
You've been wrong twice.
I watched super close this time. Unless she's doing it where she
That's really
types one and then deletes it.
That's what I'm scared of.
No, she
But I
wants-
see a heart and a
it's
club
to
and a
say-
spade and a thing, so I'm gonna say playing card suits.
I mean, there's these are pool balls, these are chess pieces. I represented all of the options in the pictures here.
I don't know what the pool balls one is.
Okay, so it's not B. Got it. A.
It's A.
That's the
Hey!
point. That's the point for everyone.
I watched super close this time.
Heart is mate spreadship. The equivalent-
What?
Heart is mate spreadship.
Bless you?
The equivalent of normal human romance. Diamond is Moira allegiance, a very close but platonic best friend role that keeps you grounded. Spade is kismessitude, which is... So you know how a lot of people ship characters who hate each other because it's fun and attempted murder can easily be interpreted as an act of intimacy? It's that. It's a hate rivalry with a major dose of sexual tension.
Oh, that's kinda...
You would not believe how many Goro x Akira Spade things there are. There's so many.
That's a little...
Claire, do you have like a shirt with the class?
What did you say, Claire?
I said, that's a little...
Are you a bit of kismessitude?
Yeah, no. Uh-huh.
Finally, club is
I don't know what that
auspisticism, which has someone function like a mediator between two people who don't like each other, but lack either the pure hate or the underlying tension which would be required for kismessitude. These roles are not set in stone, with quadrant vacillation being a rather common occurrence based on life events, shifts in personality, and so on.
Show the shipping chart.
Please don't.
I did not.
No!
So not only
It's
does
a mess,
Homestuck
it's a mess.
Not only does Homestuck provide all of these options for making characters, but it even gives you a way to visualize and map out the characters' dynamics with one another. What more could you ask for? So in conclusion, despite years of sometimes questionable behavior and the source material not having aged totally flawlessly, the Homestuck fandom has not and probably never will fully go away. Hopefully this presentation has given you something of an idea as to why. There truly is no other series like it. The lore and world building built up in its 8,100 pages may not be completely consistent or logical, but it is really fun to play around with. Claire, you look like you had something to say.
What could I possibly...
Alright.
What else is there to say?
Hence, the community even today making their own original characters to inhabit it, just like the poets and writers of old. And now I am part of that proud artistic tradition too. Question 13. How many fan troll image maker websites did I use to recreate Athena? A. 1, B. 2, C. 3.
I love her.
Okay, she's
I
cute.
love her.
Before I fully wrap this up, here's one final, just for fun chance to get a history point. Question 14. How many One Piece Homestuck crossover fanfics are at AO3? Free write. Hint, it's fewer than the number of Law X Luffy stories, which is now up to approximately 3,000.
Can I request this one is double because...
Yeah, that's fair. Alright, this will be worth 2 points. Whoever gets closest to this number.
What are the current points at, Lily?
You both have 8 and I have 10.
That's stupid and dumb.
Let's make it worth 3 points.
3
No.
points. We gotta have a winner.
Okay, I have an
Do you have answers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. What are your numbers?
600.
Okay.
I put 1,101.
I
Lily.
put 264.
Lily wins. It's 23. I told you it was fewer than 3,000.
I don't want to be here. I feel unsafe.
So Lily is our Homestuck champion to the surprise of no one. Except me.
I feel deeply unsafe. I have to sleep in the same room as her.
I just live in the same house as Leah, who is now going to murder me.
I don't feel good about this win.
You shouldn't.
If I had known that you had all this prior knowledge, I would not have made the question so simple.
I'm so sorry.
A tainted victory, to be
I
sure.
ruined it for everyone.
You guys got pretty close, although a lot of it was copying Lily. And
Well, hey, you gotta do what you gotta do for those beans.
Claire, do you want my beans?
I want you.
You want my beans? I don't want you to choke on your beans.
let me get the beans. Hold on.
No, don't get them. I don't like this.
We can split them.
Hi, Marmalade. How are you doing up
Oh,
here?
normal day.
You're gonna cry.
I cry when I laugh hard. That's the way the road.
What else do you cry when you lose at Monopoly?
Monopoly's a lot.
True.
I cannot believe this. My own flesh and blood!
Marblade's been at the top of the stairs this whole time, by the way, because the door was closed. She couldn't get out.
I cannot accept this. This false victory.
We'll make these the community beans. And Claire never spoke to us again.
It's mostly that she lost. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that it's Homestuck.
With Leah, it is.
No, I don't give a shit about that. What I give a shit about is the uneven playing field that I was given. If I'm going to lose, I want to lose because none of us knew.
Yeah, next if
But who knew?
If I wasn't keeping that reveal a secret, I would have made sure that you guys were all on the same playing field. So.